So what you want to do is selection a goat off the tree. You want to put it down quickly. If the horns are frozen, put it down. One strike should get that going, like I say. And on that way, I collect the horn of a tinder. So let it burn and just sit at the top of it. And that should catch through. Like I say, it's about -5 now, it's freezing. But there you go. And once it catches, transfer it into your fire pit, like so. Showing my son how to survive. You excited?
Welcome to the future!
Yeah!
Your father living on the moon now!
The Fly Fifer Podcast. Let's talk. Your chat, your way. This episode is sponsored by J. Couriers. The people who care for your delivery.
Shahur sir, we're back again, and it is round 2, part deuce, with Peter Parker Yuill. And we're going to talk about Peter's other side of his life, which is bushcraft, survivalist, and wild camping. Now, that covers a really, really broad range, and I'm going to go straight to him to talk about that, because I've become a bit of a wuss, as I was explaining. Getting older now, I like my creature comforts. However, I do like the cold water therapy. But I'm going to let Peter deep dive us straight into survivalist, or surviving in the wilds. Thanks for that other... This is, podcast number 2. The other one is more related to dads, and it's about some of the fights that us male folk go through. We're not alone. There's women go through it as well, but we are today talking about, or we were talking about, was dads. So you'll be able to go into the channel and find that other podcast. It's about an hour 40 minutes there, but a lot of information for guys and a lot of real talk there, I think. And it's a tunnel, but there's light at the end of the tunnel. Anyway, on to Peter Parker Yuill about surviving in the wilds. As he sits there with his wee cup of tea.
Loving life.
Loving life.
So what you want me to tell you? What you want to know?
I want to know what I know how you got into the survivalist, but you're probably going to have to go down the road again with talking about your old man and everything like that brought you and your brother into it. But I think what I want to know about it is, has society completely lost the ability to look after itself? And what are you doing to help society find themselves again? I think that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my outlook on it is, too many folk are sitting in front of computers, in front of the telly. They don't want to get out and about. When, as I say, you ken how I was brung up. My old man brung me and my brother up. He had us out. We were in the 90s, early 90s and that kind of thing. We were proper bushcrafters. My old man taught us everything from scratch. There's nothing that he never showed us: how to hunt, how to fish, how to skin animals, how to get the fires going out of nothing. And it's like, these days, everybody you see and they talk to, they'll always say, "Oh, yeah, we at the water the day." Everybody knows me and Kelly about what I do. I enjoy it. I love it. And I love the fact folk interact with me when I'm doing it. But they'll always say things like, "Oh, I wish my boyfriend did that," kind of thing, and "I wish he did that." But none of them ever get up off their ass to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's all about just getting into it. You don't need to have the fanciest equipment or anything like that to go and do this kind of stuff, but you do need to have knowledge. There's one thing, I see a lot of guys on TikTok and stuff. Now, it's fantastic to watch them going and doing things, but when they're trying to teach folk how to do things, at least teach folk how to do stuff properly.
Right.
Don't just open a book and think you can do it. You
Yeah.
need to do it hour and hour again. Now, I've had 3 decades experience of doing this kind of thing. This is it's like I could live outside rather than live inside. You know what I mean? And I don't need a tent. When I go away, I don't take a tent. All I take's my knife, an axe, bit of food, a few cans for around the fire.
And do you know how, when I was explaining this to Claire about what your other side of things that you do, I was like, this guy's going out in the winter camping, no tent, no nothing.
Nothing at all.
And I was like, how?
Yep.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't have come where to start.
It's like,
I'd be back in the van half an hour later saying, "Well, I tried it."
This is what I said to you. Realistically, the way my dad brought us up, my father was a fantastic father. He was always hands-on. But see, right now, in Scotland, And I don't want to blow my own trumpet. I'm probably one of the best survivalists in Scotland by far.
Right.
And I could teach you anything you wanted to know. But there's other guys that are also equally as good.
Right.
But they use hunters' equipment. I
Right.
only use a knife and an axe. That's all I need. I could walk up the woods and survive for months on end just with my knife and my axe.
Right.
That's how good I'm at it. And it's my passion.
Right.
I love doing it. But
And that's come for the old man. He's taught you how
That's come
knife
to-
and an axe. That's you. That's
my
all you
old
need.
man taught us
Aye.
to use minimalistic stuff all the
Right.
time. He is fantastic. My dad is absolutely incredible at that kind of thing. He's old
Right.
now. My father's 69, so he doesn't get out and about. But when we're up, we've got off-grid caravans up in Loch Awe, and we're always up there. My old man is serious stuff that he knows, skinning animals and that. He's superior at
Superior,
it.
aye.
Absolutely fantastic. And it's like, when we were growing up, it was all that stuff all the time. And my dad, I'm so grateful to my father for getting me into that. Because I go into some of my mates' houses and that, and it's just they're all sitting with their fucking tellies on and their computers and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, you don't get bored of that kind of shit.
Aye.
Whereas I'll look out the window and it's torrential rain. I've just got back from my work and I'll ring up my best mate, James Allison, and I'll be like, James, want to go to the water? Fuck it, let's go. And it's maybe -2, the snow's coming down, we're sitting there quite comfortable with a fire, just chatting away, and it's like, we honestly could make the best out of any situation that there is. I've camped out without a tent, so I don't know what you want to call it, maybe bivvying or something like that.
Aye.
I've camped out when it was -15, and I sat there with a nice fire, no tent, books a Strongbow, maybe a bit of venison or something, and enjoyed my situation. And I absolutely love that fact. We've also run about Kilmarnock. Me and my mates got our own wee spots. We never tell anybody because we don't want... nowadays, you find that folk that go camping and that, they always wreck everywhere they go. You can never do nothing and just enjoy it and keep the place tidy. We used to build fire pits at the rivers and everything for folk to go and use in the summer. And like our wee spots started getting trashed as soon as they were on Facebook, so we stopped telling everybody where we were.
Right.
So it's like a lot of people in their survival thing or their bushcraft will go to the one spot all the time.
Right.
I'm maybe a nomad. I'll go to that one spot and see when I've been there. I don't like depleting that area of the wood. So see like the wood coming off the tree, the dead wood and everything.
Aye.
I'll move on and go somewhere else. Maybe 2 weeks after I've been to that one spot 3 or 4 times, I'll move on to another spot because I
Right.
can the wood will have gotten blown by the wind and you've got all the dead wood lying about. So burn that, move on to somewhere else, and then that one will replenish. The one that you were at first will have totally replenished with wood, and that's the way I keep it going.
Right.
And it's like all my equipment, as I said, is. I'll show you my bag.
I was going to say, get
I
it
carry,
out.
I carry this everywhere I go because, especially travelling this kind of distance, if my van breaks down, I want to be able to at least stay the night. But this is the knife I got handmade in America.
Aye.
Here you go.
This is the one we see on the TikToks.
This is the
and
one.
stuff like that.
This is my baby. This is like my favourite thing in the world. So this was handmade for me. And as I say, it's an 8-inch blade. The only thing I will warn folk, if you ever want to go and get that kind of thing, is do not wear it in the street.
Aye.
Put it on once you're at the spot you're going to,
Right.
and you'll not get any bother. See,
Aye.
if you walk up the street with that, you're getting about 5 years up your arse.
That's
you know
what I
mean?
was thinking. But even if somebody has got that out in the wild and the police appear, are they going to get grief? Or
No,
right.
you're all right.
And where is the law on that? Because I did think, and I thought that's a big blade.
See, if you're running about like a fucking lunatic,
Aye.
then you're going to get your ass kicked. See if you've got that and you're just like,
Say RAF.
oh, I'll get my pick up.
They've found you.
But see, if you're at the water and you're just using it for like your bushcraft and stuff, you're maybe cutting wee bits to hang your chicken out of the fire, you're not going to get any trouble. They'll
No
tell
grief.
you to just make sure it's no
Aye.
exposed in the middle of the street.
But like you say, padding about doing the shops and stuff like that, you're going to get your arse
Yep.
felt for having
That's
that.
it.
Aye.
And that knife, a good survival tip for folk is, if you want to dive out and buy yourself a knife, don't buy yourself a folding knife.
Right.
Because see, when you're striking your striker to make the fire go, if that folds shut in your hand, you're going to cause yourself a big injury.
Yeah.
So you're going to be stuck in the middle of nowhere with your hand covered in blood.
So show us the striker. I'm guessing that's it beside the knife.
So that's your striker there.
Aye.
Now that striker is about 15-year-old. Possibly it's starting to dent now.
I
if
see
you
it,
can
aye,
see it,
aye.
that's because I've struck it that many times. Now these are absolutely excellent because see if you fall into the water, no matter how wet this gets, it'll still always strike.
Still strike,
and that's
right.
why I like it. But I can also, I'm going to do in my TikTok in the summer, I can also get fires going with the bow and the fiddle and stuff like that. See, like just 2 bits of wood, and there's different techniques to do it. But they always they always, like, in Scotland, some parts of England, see, or in the world, we are the best survivalists, because see our weather conditions. It's like we're a damp kind of, what's the word for it? Like, we've always got rain, we've always got coldness. See guys in America and all that kind of stuff, because folk always say, you watch that outdoors, boys? See they guys, they've got dry climates. Oh, I came up, so deserts, Alaska, see, it might look like it's snowing, but it's a dry snow. See, in Scotland, this is why they say that SAS is the best army in the world, because our weather conditions are hardy weather conditions.
Got you. Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm going down the woods in my TikTok videos. See the bits of wood that I'm finding? Some of them are damp, some of them are wet. But I'm still managing to get a fire going with that wood.
I've noticed that you're taking the...
Yep. So it's all... our weather climate is a tough one to learn. And I really wish folk would start getting into bushcrafting. And I get back to the bit I said, I see guys on TikTok and that. I think that's fantastic. I love watching their wee videos of them try to do stuff. But I also think, don't teach somebody if you don't know how to do it.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? So I'm only teaching folk because I know exactly how to do stuff. But they guys have to learn as well, because some of the videos I watch are brilliant. Kind of testing out their tents, they're getting wee fires going and stuff. It's superb. I wish more folk would get into it, I'll be honest with you.
Right.
It's like, you ever done the West Highland Way?
I've not done the West Highland Way, but I know it obviously, but I've not actually went and did it. No,
I done the West Highland Way, and I done it in 3.5 days.
Right.
So I did, and it was one of the hardest walks I've ever done in my life. I paid for coming home from the pub at like 12 o'clock at night, trying to get in the house.
Trying to get in the house quietly.
Aye, that staircase is always creaky, innit? You know, bastard thing. But no, that's a good. See, doing stuff like that.
Right.
I remember years ago, my mum and dad, they dropped me and my mate off, and what was the name of it? Loch Clattering Shaws. That's down in Dumfries and Galloway, and we gave ourselves a week to come home with hardly anything.
Right.
And we done it. So we did, and stuff like that. I love a challenge.
So is that living off the land, setting up your own camp, carrying what, just the rucksack that you've got?
What you've got, aye. It's like, I could see, like, say if I went out the water and I never had nothing, I would be able to survive for months, because I ken how to snare things, I ken how to catch things, I ken how to get fires going, I ken all the different stuff. You name it, I'm going to put it on my TikTok. But I'm also, as I say in my TikTok, passing it down to my wee boy.
Aye.
So I want his journey to be seen, but I also want folk to do it with their wins as well.
Correct.
So that they're not sitting in the house and they're sitting like, what
we're going to do.
What we're going to do. It's raining. Who cares if it's raining?
And it's hard getting the kids out. And Claire's here. She always wants to be outside. Always try to get me outside. Always try to get Miles outside.
Well respected for doing that, by the way.
And it's like, I'll moan, or I'll be, I've got this today and I've got that today.
Yep.
Fucking why?
That's it.
And then the wee man, he's Xbox and everything like that. It's like, oh, for fuck's sake. But see, when you get us out, she'll probably agree that once we're actually out and doing it, definitely the wee guy, you just turn into something completely different. You make the best of what you've got. So it is that initial battle, like getting yourself outside. Once you're outside, that's it. It's done. Nah, you were always outside. Her laddies were always outside.
Aye.
And feral children. Aye. So, with what you do, what is the fucking bare nuts of what a human being needs to survive on your journey? Say that week that you travelled up there. What is the key things you're looking at the minute? I'm on my own, it's getting dark. What do I need to do?
So say I come up here, right?
Aye.
Drove, it was nearly a 5.5 hour drive, and my van breaks down.
Right.
I always carry all my stuff with me.
Aye.
The AA can't come for you. I tell you the story the last time. So what you do is you just get out. A great way of saying it is never panic.
What if you've no got the van? I'm talking about a no van situation.
Right,
aye.
So everybody always asks me doing my way, are you a Bear Grylls man or you a Ray Mears?
Right.
Here's a great way of putting it, right? I'm a Ray Mears man, because if I was to be lost somewhere, I would make the best of that situation. Whereas Bear Grylls wants to escape that situation. I would get fun with a fucking city of log cabins, not kind of thing. I would be able to survive in that place. And rather than trying to escape to find help, I would thrive.
Aye, I'm in my element. Totally. You're all right, pal. I don't need to escape.
My dream holiday now is I've got my half-grid caravan up in Lochaw. I want to walk from Kilmarnock to my caravan.
Right.
And take maybe a week to do it, but just survive all the way up. I'll make a video of it.
Yeah.
It's 93 mile, I'm sure it's around about that. And then stay at my caravan for a week and then walk home.
Wow.
That's what I've always wanted to do. Or if I can't be walking down the road, I'll get a run. But at least I've gone up there. But that is through like all your wilderness, proper wilderness. I hate Loch Lomond. I've never liked Loch Lomond as a place. It's too touristy for me.
Right.
Same with Glencoe. I've never liked day two places for camping or anything. But see, like, how do I put it? That route that I would take is nowhere near there. So I'd be going over the mountains and everything, and I would love it. I would absolutely thrive in it, man.
Right, so that going over the mountains, you're on your own, you've got your rucksack. What is night one? It's getting dark. What is it you're, right, I need this, I need that, I need that.
So
where am I kipping? What?
Right, I would be looking for the lowest point.
Right.
Because the higher you are, the more wind, the more rain, the more exposed you are. So you're wanting, the sun's coming down and you want to quickly get somewhere to shelter. So you'd fin a tree line, low down tree line. You want a bit of water and all, so you can get yourself maybe washed in the morning and stuff like that. If you're not getting any juice or anything like that, and you can make a fire, you want to boil some water, you want to be near water.
Right.
So I'm picturing this in my head where I'm at exactly.
Correct. Tell us
picturing
it.
83, up to 83. So I'm bedding down. The next thing you want to do is you want to collect some like dry leaves. See, for insulation, you don't want to collect wet leaves because wet leaves are just going to sap the warmth out of your body. So you want to get dry stuff, pile it in. If you want to make a wee shelter, you can knock them up in a couple of hours, you know what I mean? If it's windy. Then what you want to do is you want to just crack your can if you've got a can of cider. No, but what you do is you want to get the low-lying stuff. If you're trying to get a rescue, then you want to get a fire. You want to grab as much greens as you can get. So see, like pine stuff, not
Smoke.
to make the smoke go. If you don't want to get rescued, just try and get hunters of dry wood. Just get loads of dry wood, as much as you can get. Because see, when you're collecting wood, you're keeping yourself warm at the same time.
Right.
And if you've maybe got a wee saw or an axe, every time you're chopping or cutting, you're heating yourself up.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, it's always low, but never ever at the bottom of moss or anything like that. See, like damp grun, that's the worst type of stuff you can lie on because you're soaking wet, you're miserable. You want to be nice and low, but a hard surface.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Aye. So you'd said earlier, so what if it's Pissenden, Scotland? It's either Pissenden or freezing, so
you want to find yourself like a wee
in the wood. Then are you at that point? Are you?
Aye. As I say, if you're looking to get rescued, you want to stay close to the tree line.
Edge. Aye.
Because Scotland, realistically, see up in Scotland, you're not going to get lost. There's too many roads not about.
Aye.
So you could say the roads maybe about 200 yards away from where you are. Stay at the inline, the front of the tree line, so you can be seen. Okay, I mean, make yourself seen.
Aye, yeah.
So with the smoke and stuff like that. But if you want to camp out, then go back into the woods a bit. Okay, I mean, find a nice spot. Take a wee bit to fin it. If it's pissing or rain, just need to grin and bear it. To be honest with you, you're a man.
Are you making shelter? Or are you just sheltering under something? Or
well, I could show you shelters that I made up where I usually go. One of our wee spots, me and my mates, but we took weeks to make them, so they were solid. But if you want to make a quick shelter, just don't snap live trees. Just find the branches lying about the ground. Make it just for yourself, just to lie in, and pack it with dry leaves, and that way you're going to be warm at night. At least have a bit of heat.
Right?
Aye.
So you said that when you did the West Highland Way, and you did it in the 3 and a bit days. So I'm guessing you're not staying at hotels or backpackers.
No, never stayed at hotels.
You're kipping outside.
Aye, I've got a bivvy bag.
Right, so you're just into your bivvy bag and
but as I say, I've got 3 decades worth of knowledge, you know.
It's no alien to you. No, it's home for home.
Exactly. It insults me if somebody says want to go camping and they bring a tent with them. That insults me because my mate's lying in a fucking tent and I'm lying there, just quite the thing. But no, me, it's usually just me and my mate James.
And what is the difference here? What's the difference with the tent and your mate being in a tent, being in a tent? What?
I don't know. I just find it more wild.
Aye.
You know what I mean?
But see me, I'd be the one saying, right, I've got my tent, I've got my 2 manor with me, it's just nice and compact.
I like 100% natural nature. Right. Obviously, a bivvy bag's no natural, but it's as close to it as you get.
A bivvy bag's just like a what do you call it? A sleeping bag that just wraps around you. But you just face open to the elements, maybe a bit shelter above you or
nice
whatever.
Night, if it's not a nice night, Finn, see your gullies underneath a river and stuff, you've got your wee your wee like cliff faces and
Aye.
everything. You fin in there and bury it. And I'm going to do a beautiful video on my TikTok. There's a great bit I go to, and it's got a lovely shelf. The river runs round it, and it's back into it's mounded back in like a wee cave. And I'm going to get my bivvy bag set up in there and get a fire and all that. And I'm going to record it. It's going to be absolutely mint it. So it is. But it's like I told you I'm a nomad. I like keeping everything simple, keeping as least amount of equipment as I can get, and just make nature work for you. You know what I mean? So like me and my mate go all the time, and that's the way I like it. Just us two. And my brother's always, you're always fucking Brokeback Mountain, used to, Ken. But well, no, actually, it's just what we like doing. But we would rather Saturday afternoon, say a Friday night. Sorry, James will phone me. What we do in the morning? Because that's my best mate. We're together all the time. We're joined at the hip. And I'll say, I don't know, you want to go at the water? So we'll leave. Sometimes I've seen us leaving at 5 in the morning. Any weather, doesn't matter to us. Pack your bags and away we go. And that's us for the whole night. And we'll just find one of the wee spots we go to, and we'll just unpack what we've got, carry out bits of meat. James only eats out a bird's eye box, right enough. But and then that's us for the night. We just enjoy it. I would rather do that than go to the pub.
And where's he getting his skills? Has he got them for you, or did he have a parent or a family
James,
member?
he's only got his mum. His father doesn't really speak to him. Well, he does speak to him. That's bad to say. It's just his dad stays in Manchester, right? Okay. So he never really sees his dad. But James has been my best mate for nearly 25 years.
Right. So what you learned, he learned.
Exactly. Aye. And James is the best guy for a laugh. See, like if you're ever feeling down and you're sitting around the fire, that's the best mate to sit with. We listen to the same music, we talk the same shite. Ken, it's just them, man.
You can survive in the same extremes, I feel like.
We stayed up at the caravan doing a job for 8 weeks one time, and folk like never argue. We never had one argument. We just get on like a fucking house on fire. But that's what we like. Pubs, no, I'm not interested in. I like going out for a pint now and again. But see, honestly, I'd just rather sit at the water with my music speaker on. And Ken, it's just a different feeling. If you're ever feeling down, that's something to consider doing, because the feeling of just being away from city life and all that is great, man. It's fucking fantastic.
Definitely is. It's what we've escaped from.
Exactly.
I mean, I was in born, bred Fife. Lived in Edinburgh for fucking 30 years or thereabout. Livingston for a couple of years, and then obviously Claire and I got together and decided it was a 5-year plan that became a 5-month plan almost. You know, we were heading for the hills, and then we ended up here.
You like it as well.
And for me, there's still a few chains to break.
Right.
Like I had a cleaning company, break the chains of that. Right, so that's done. And then the other disco company that I've got, I'm trying to break the chains of that so that we can get back to basics almost, because she's fucking pining,
kind of stuff.
Pining for it, and I'm interested in it. I'm wanting to do it, but I still want to do this shit.
That's what I can send back to you then. Wild garlic bulbs.
Wild garlic bulbs. Well, our mum Charlotte, who I think you've not met her yet, but all about the garden, all about growing stuff. Claire's interested in that. I'm kind of getting that way, but I'm like, the garden's yours. I'll do this. But if I can cut the chains, then I will do more. And I will. And she's always saying, you want to come round to the rig? And I'm not, that's your thing. I'm always like, that's your thing. I get her to help me with it. And I've said to her, look, when you're needing help there, I'll come and help. The same as she helps me with this. So, but I think breaking it is difficult when you live in a city, man. Well, for these guys to get out and escape the city.
Well, I kind of, I'll for the very first time disagree with you, because man, I said I stayed in Glasgow for 4 years, and I still done it 2 or 3 times a week. I just I can't no do it. You know what I mean? It's like I'd leave the house on a Tuesday about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I wouldn't come back to the next day. And
I've got mates that if they watch this, they'll be like, what the fuck's happened to him? Because we were never in the house. I was in the woods, or we were Irish up the quarry. We were always doing something. Always doing something. And there's 2 in particular, Kevin and Paul, grew up with these guys. And they'd be like, oh, fuck, what's happened to him? But anyway, that aside. But anyway, look, it's about you, your survival.
If I get home early the night, then I will phone James and I'll say, right, what you want to do? And we'll end up going out the water. And a Monday night, and it's like, we don't care what night it is or what the weather is. But my TikTok videos...
Which is Pistol Pete on TikTok.
1987.
Yes.
I'm going to be showing folk how to... Obviously, I've been showing folk how to get fires going and stuff, but I'm also going to be teaching folk how to forage. River survival. So see, like falling in the river and how to survive in all weathers. I'll do it in the snow, I'll do it in any. It doesn't matter. I'll teach folk everything you need to know about what plants come out that you can forage for, how to get the fire going, what type of wood to get, how to build a shelter, how to build a certain type of shelter in a certain climate.
Aye.
Ken, like, there's hundreds of things that you can learn.
Can I ask you something, though? Can I stop you there and ask you something? What the fuck are you doing painting and decorating?
Oh, it's just I was a level 3 painter and
No,
decorator.
but why are you doing that when you've got this knowledge? Why are you teaching the army or something like that?
Well,
Why are you
See,
or kids, aye.
I was asked to
for the
do
scheme,
that, right?
Teaching the kids for the scheme how to
I was
a
asked
different
to do
way
that.
of surviving.
But my honest opinion, I think it would take the fun out of it for me.
Right.
Because I would have a certain responsibility.
So
I enjoy doing what I do. I'll teach it to my mates in their wains and stuff like that. I've also, I considered it, right, but then you've got to go down the route of insurances. What if something happens to them?
I get it, aye.
You know what I mean?
Totally
and I
get
thought, I like
Yeah.
me and my mate fucking off at the water and sitting with a few can and just relaxing and enjoying the environment.
Aye.
There's nothing to worry about then. Whereas if you take classes at stuff, you then have that responsibility. You can't have a drink round the
Public
fire and stuff like
liability
that.
insurance
It
and-
bollocks like that, you know what I mean? So the reason I'm doing the videos on TikTok is then I don't have to do that.
Right.
Ken, folk can watch it and learn after the videos. And if somebody wants me to do it deeper, as in show them more thoroughly, I'll do it, not a problem. But it's like next week I'm doing a 1/2 with Ruckman. He's on TikTok too. He's a fitness guy. He's asked me to take one of his classes and put them like endurance.
Right,
So
okay.
what we are going to do is I'm going to take them to a certain place in the river that we do, because me and James do river walks all year round. So we do river walking in the winter, the summer. The summer's fantastic because you're sorting t-shirts, but we have done the winter multiple
When you
times.
say river walking, what is that?
So we'll get dropped off at a certain place, right? It's usually up near Fenwick. My mum will drop us off, or someday one of my mates or something. So we'll get dropped off up there. What we'll do is we'll come down. I'm just taking the places that we go, right? We'll get into Moses Well, where you can get into the water quite easy. So we'll jump into the river. It's up to your chest. Certain points is past your head. And we'll just wade down through the river.
Right.
We'll stop off maybe 3 or 4 times in the way down. This is at like 6 in the morning, and I've seen us doing it in the snow and the ice and everything. We've done it any weather it doesn't bother us. So we'll walk down and we'll stop at wee points, like our wee spots. We'll get a wee fire. We'll have a few can, cook our lunch, back into the river, walk to the next bit, do it again and again. And it's like, we have done that when we were about 13.
Aye.
And now it's like folk are like, oh, you're off, you're not, the river's frozen and all that. It doesn't matter how cold, the water's still as cold as it is in the summer.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So this Ruckman he's a great fitness coach, and he's asked me to do this class with him. So what my plan is I'm going to give him a wee survival course on how to get fires going.
Right.
I'll do that first. Then we're going to go to a part of the river. And then I said to them, if you want to learn to live the way I do, you have to submerge yourself in the water. Out your head. And then I want you to walk about 200 yards up the river, scramble up the embankment, come out and start the fire. Now all these boys into their boats and all that, they all think they're macho and all that, right? But see, when it comes to something like this, that'll make men out of them, you know what I mean? So it's going to be really fun. It's only for fun. I've put a wee prize into it just so whoever wins it can get the prize. It's nothing big. It's just it's just for fun, and the boys are all excited to date and all that kind of stuff. And it's the first time I've ever done something like that. So.
And there's a few elements to that. So what are they going in? Are they going in fully clothed?
Fully clothed,
Boots,
the way I
everything,
would do
the
it.
way they turn up.
I would do it the way I do it.
And then when they get out, they're going to hate to get that gear dried. And
Exactly, that's it. Get I'll get a fire going, right, in case one of them can't get it going and there's a fire that they can go around. So we'll have a big fire going. My mate James will stand up and he'll have the flame. He'll keep the fire stocked, but they have to go out and start their own fire. And once they can start it, whoever's done it the quickest will win the prize. But they need to do it the way that we do it. We do it fully clothed. And I mean, I've seen me and James in -5 walking down through the river, submerged above our head. I'm holding my bag over my head, frozen, but still managing to get out that, sit and get a fire going, and then dry the clays off, and then get back in the water and go another mile down the road, do it all again. And I've done it all my life, and it's like, in the water's a different calibre. That's why I'm going to teach folk how to do water survival and stuff like that. Yeah. Because you can get currents and everything. And some folk aren't sure about rivers, but it's second nature to me. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I've also done the offshore survival stuff and that kind of thing. So I know what I'm talking about. And it's just, once you get into that kind of stuff, it's just excellent.
Excellent,
Ken, you've got the bug. That's why I'm happy. My wee boy's got the bug. He's even in and out the water in that way.
Brilliant, aye.
Obviously knowing it's cold. And another thing is, when I take the Wayne with me, I do take tents for him.
For him, aye.
Because he's not at the age that he can just do what I do. But if it's my free weekend, e.g. this weekend coming up, I was already talking to my mate, and that's us. We'll go camping Friday night.
Right.
Again, we'll just pack the bags, fuck off at the water, and we'll maybe take if I'm not doing, if that Rockman Disney date on Saturday, we'll just take a couple of days to come home.
Aye.
You know what I mean? That's just the way we live. It's just a great way of getting out and about. I don't want to be that guy that works for 9 to 5, then finishes his work on the Friday and he's away to the pub Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's boring.
There's more to life.
Aye, you want to fucking learn stuff and do things. Do that. It's my passion. And as I said, if folk want me to do things with them, I would rather do it on a video, because it takes the fun out of me. I like sitting with a can and a fire and a cigarette and cooking my food, and I don't want to have like classes of 15 and 16 folk sitting in front of me.
So the best way to get this is Pistol Pete 1987? 1997?
1987. Oh, I'm older than that.
Sorry,
man.
1987, aye. On TikTok.
And I will show folk any request. I will show them everything under the sun. It doesn't matter to me what they ask me, I'll be able to do it. I'll show them how to cook things, how to skin things, how to get fires going, certain types of fires, because you don't just get the one fire, you've got hundreds of types. And I mean, I'll teach them everything they want to know. Right. Absolutely fine with me.
More recently, noticed the post on TikTok that you had where there was a competition coming up with you and somebody. Yeah. Well, I say competition, it was just you against somebody else.
That is, see a guy I do work for in Loch Gilphead.
Aye.
He is ex-Special Forces,
right?
And he's asked me to paint his house for him,
right? Okay,
it's his holiday home. He actually stays down in the West Midlands,
right? Okay.
So I've been pals with him. I can't mention him, right, because I don't think he would want his name.
No, but don't do that. Aye.
But he is ex-Special Forces, and he's a great guy, great laugh. So he was. Well, I was up at his house about 3 weeks ago. And he was talking to me about my TikToks and all that. And he's obviously trying to noise me up and everything. And he's like, "Do you think you could beat me?" That kind of thing. Right, and I said, I was about to say his name, but I said, "I'd fucking absolutely wipe the flare with you." So what he said to me is, right, when I go back to paint his house, it's meant to be in this month.
Right.
What we'll do is I'll take a day off and we'll go and we'll have a shooting competition, just targets. And then we'll have a competition that's skinning an animal. Right. And then we'll have a competition of who can get a fire going the quickest. Right. Out the two is, and we'll put it like a rivalry. Dude, he'll be about 55. He's a big boy, a big old boy, man. But he's wanting to do it just for fun. It's just for a good laugh, just for a video.
Keep his hand in
to see who can win. But I will wipe the flare with him. Absolutely. I'm a great marksman, I know. I'm absolutely fantastic with a gun. Right. See, shooting, I'm a great marksman. And I'm not as good a fisherman, but he's wanting to go out in the boat and see who can catch as much fish as well. He's wanting to make a good day at it. But it'll be a good thing to watch, Ken. It'll be fun.
I'm interested already.
But he's such a nice guy, but I'll also be doing his house at the same time. So that's what he said to me. He said, when you're up, just stay in the house and we'll go out and we'll do wee videos and that. We'll make it a wee competition. But
and you get the 2 years up here on this.
Oh, he's a great guy.
I'd love to hear his story.
He's a big old boy, like I say. But he told me something he was in, but I can't remember exactly what it was. But it was definitely, I'm sure it was the SBS he was in. Right. So he was amphibious, and I based my survival skills as amphibious.
What I mean? Like that.
Because I've never parachuted or anything like that. So the SAS is the paras, but I would base myself as an amphibious type of survival guy. And he loved that. That's what he likes, and he was we bounced off each now and everything. But it'll be fun to watch. I'll do it. Once I'm up doing his house, he's getting windies fitted in the house, because there's no point in me decorating the house and windies getting fitted, Ken. So that's why it's taking. Once it gets going, I'll notify folk that I'm going to do it, and the two will have a laugh.
Look forward to that.
And I hopefully I'll beat him.
and if you win, we should get him on this.
He would definitely come on it. The guy.
So how did he win?
He can talk more than me.
Brilliant.
But he's a lovely guy, and you can tell that he's got good discipline.
See, that's the Fifer in me. Come on in and talk.
He would be a great guy to have on this.
I'd love to hear somebody like that.
He's an excellent guy. So
just the stories these boys will have, you know. And again, for them, they get it out, open, it's gone, that's it.
I was going to say a survival story of my own. I was my caravan years ago, and I fell into my log burner.
Right.
Now, it was on for 2 days. and I had to. My side was in fire, and I was trying to. I couldn't get out because I was trapped in the wee chimney. So I ended up had to grip the top of the log burner. My mate James was trying to pull my hair to try and pull me out, and I couldn't. So I had to grip myself and pull myself off it. And as I let go, it stripped all the meat off my fingers and my palm, and that's why I've got that tattoo down my arm.
Right.
And I did the agony bit. It stripped all the meat, so I had to wait 7 hours in a helicopter to come and get me. And I didn't have any water or anything because the water for the lock might have been contaminated, so it had to be crystal clear. So what I had was a box of cider in front of me. So I had to neck 10 cans of cider while waiting in the paramedics. So they
had
came.
to?
Oh, I had to, man.
For the pain, like.
Yeah. So I was drifting in and out of consciousness. James was sitting there trying to kind of keep me going. And the paramedics came and said, see if you didn't drink that box of cider, you'd have been into an electric shock. So they managed to get me to the burns unit down in Glasgow. And I went in, and I was at that point. It was 7 hours I'd went past, and I was in complete and utter agony. And I say I never greet right, but I was sobbing. It was excruciating. These burns were horrific. But they came into the ward, the room I was in, the doctor and all that, and there was about 30 of these fucking trainee students with them. And they said, it's alright if we show them these injuries because it was one of the worst burns of somebody's on and that kind of shit. And I said, aye, that's fine, but I was fucking less. So the doctor whipped out a scalpel and he cut the tops of my fingers off with a knife. The three of them, and I sat and watched, and he cut my palm away and all, and then cut all this area away with a knife. But I never actually felt it because the skin was gone.
Deed anyway, yeah.
So I ended up spending a wee while in the Royal Burns unit in Glasgow. And aye, that was
skin grafts.
They told me if I didn't pull myself off that log burner, I'd have probably died within 10 seconds.
What?
Because my bowel was hanging. It was just about to explode. So, aye, that was a wee survival story of my own, and I never stalk a log burner drunk, put it that way.
No.
So now up at the caravan, the log burner's got a cage in it.
Right.
But you can still see my fingerprints in the top
Seriously?
of the... Aye, and that was about fucking 6 years ago.
Wow.
And you can still see the fingerprints in the top of the log burner. Aye.
Dare I ask how you got stuck on it? Did you just fall on it or something?
I built a hearth and I tripped over the hearth. And I went back, and the chimney's about this size, and I'm top heavy. So see, when I fell, it was with a gravity pull, just pulled me right into it, man. That was it. It was like burning through here, and it was like the smell was like an overcooked steak.
Wow,
you know what I mean? And I'm shouting at James, "Get me the fuck off this thing!" and that kind of thing. So it was the saddest thing that's ever happened to me. It was excruciating. And the doctor said to me that the burns that my horns had suffered was possibly the worst horn burns he's ever seen.
So you got to be careful.
Absolutely.
As well,
man. But they offered me psychologists and everything, but I never entertained them, Ken. I didn't need that. I'm still back out making fires now.
Doing your thing.
Aye, just doing my thing. It's just you need to respect all that kind of stuff. Aye.
So what else do you want to talk about with that then?
That's about it.
That'll do me the day, man.
That'll do me
Show us
the
your
day.
stuff one more time, just so everybody, the kind of minimalist stuff. Is
Hey,
your
I'll
axe
show
there
you-
as well, bivvy bag, whatever you've got, Mo?
My axe is in the house because I think if the police stopped me on the way up here and they had an axe on me and all, they would probably say, who are you going to murder?
Right, okay, fair enough.
So,
aye.
my kit consists of this knife. This is my best, the best thing I've got. I keep it nice and sharp, wash it all the time. My flint for sparking for the fire. And the reason we use this is because if it gets wet, you can still use it.
And will it spark in here if you've...
Aye, but I'm fearing in case it catches fire. You want me to spark it?
What is it? Does the loads come off it? Like,
Aye,
All right,
I think it'd be a bit dodgy.
Is that right? Let's not do it in here then.
So I also keep in here. They're my Wayne's wipes. I had them at the wire, but I've got a bag of cat's tails. I've done a wee video on them. So I always carry a bag of cat tails because they are like good insulators and all, but they also get the fire going quite quick. So I've got a wee bag of them. I've got a bit of fat wood.
Right.
So that's like wood with hunters of sap in it. I always carry that. And I've got
What's
a bag.
that for? What's the fat wood for?
The fat wood's for you shave it down, and you can get a fire going straight
a good
away
light
because
off it,
it's real good sparks. I've got a bag of silver butts. You've seen me in one of my videos collecting silver butts. So I always carry a wee bag of that. And another thing I did another video on was the Kinder eggs. I collected tree sap in the summer, and I put my sap in them because that's another thing. If it falls in the water, it's not going to get wet.
Got you.
So I've got hunters of Kinder eggs. That's why I always buy Ellis hunters of eggs, and then I can use them. What else have I got?
The sap again, is that for keeping the fire going, or is it for
No,
what you
that's
using
for getting it going.
getting it going as well, right?
Aye, so I'll show you a wee thing I've got. There's an air bit of fat wood with a flint on it. So I got this out of Christmas cracker a while back. It's a grater.
My daughter just got that at Christmas there.
So see what you use that for?
Aye, just...
There's a bit of fat wood there.
Aye.
So what I would do is I would use the grater to get the fat wood off it, to get the tinder, and then that way you can put a spark to it and it'll get the fire going.
Away it'll
That's
go.
you. So I always keep everything. And that's basically my kit. I've got a rolling gammon in there for the way aim. The same way.
Yeah.
Also, wee things like wee tins and everything, keep them all.
Aye.
Keep everything, man. I'm absolutely hoard absolutely everything. And that's... Wait here, I think I've got a saw in the boat in my bag, actually.
Aye. Yeah.
So that's just as good as an axe. It's just a pad saw if you're ever needing to cut wood. But one tip I always give folk is never cut down live trees. Live trees don't burn.
No.
You've got to have dead wood
Right.
to get a proper, decent enough fire. I see folk cutting down live wood. No, that's that
Just fill a sap and everything or whatever.
it just
water
doesn't
and-
burn. It's a lot
aye.
of water in it. So always collect up all the dead wood, and that's what'll get a nice warm fire for you. If you collect up live wood, it'll no burn. It'll just smoulder.
Right.
So it's definitely no good to use. But that's my kit. That's as much as I put in it, and then it'll be maybe a box of dark fruits with an extra 4 in it, a leg of venison or something.
Held above your head in the water.
That's it, man.
Oh no, they could trail behind you right enough.
I
Keeping them
love
cold.
it, man. But that's my kit, man, and I carry that everywhere I go, especially if I'm coming up these kind of areas in case I break down or something like that. And I've always got something. I honey wore my bits. I was gutted because I like wearing my bits everywhere.
I've seen them on it there. Aye, they're good bits.
I'm actually looking to get sponsored, but see how I wear the big jacket. I'm in talks with Deer Hunter to get sponsored for them for my TikTok videos because I wear their kit quite regularly. That's a good company.
Is that their boots as well, or is it different boots?
They boots were actually given to me my dad's pal Alan Carson.
Right.
And I love them, man. They're fantastic. So I actually wanted to get them resold.
Can you mind the make of them around like that, or do you still get them, or are they?
Can't even remember the make of them. Man.
That's alright.
Can't it? It was just I don't even look at it. I just put them on. But I wanted to get them resold because I'm one of the guys that I like what I've got. I'll no buy new stuff. I don't need to, Ken. But a tip for folks: just keep your kit minimal. Don't go splashing out thousands of pounds in fancy kit because you need to learn first. You have to learn everything first. Etsy's a good place to get a lot of stuff as well.
Right.
See, like cool stuff. That bag I got for like 40 quid and it comes everywhere with me. It's great, man.
And it looks ideal for what you need to.
Well, as I say, I bought that colour because a lot of the camouflage up my way is that colour. So see if I want to blend in, e.g. on one of my videos, you see me running across the bank. I'm the same colour as the background.
Right.
Do you get what I mean? So you can hardly even see me. And I come out from underneath the background and it's all this colour. So I'm quite a minimalistic guy, but as I say, I'd probably say I'm probably one of the best survivalists about. Definitely. There's no ifs or buts. I came for a fact I would be able to survive anywhere. And I'd love to teach folk today to be the same as myself. Aye.
But via TikTok.
Exactly. I wouldn't take classes.
Because you're not taking classes.
When the cameras are off, I like to have a can.
I like to look.
I like turning the music up and having a can.
And try getting a public liability to cover that.
Bugger that.
What, you're having a drink?
Aye, that's it.
You're taking them where?
But if you're really interested in that kind of thing, then you're more than welcome to follow my channel and I will teach you anything you want to ken. I will, coming up, I'm going to be teaching folk how to make a den, how to make a shelter, day river survival, extra fires. See, there's like 10, 15 types of fires you can use for certain types of places. So like the one I told you I was going to go into a wee cavern and I was going to get the fire going in it. There's a certain fire that will keep that cavern warm. Right. You know what I mean? So you've got your teepees, your long fires, you've got hundreds of different styles, your stars, your everything, certain ones to cook, certain woods to use. Oh, the list goes on, man. And I'll teach folk on my TikTok how to do that.
Wow. And I think it's well worth following.
Oh, definitely. I hope I can get followers.
I'll have to watch some more, I think.
I'm going to do a video this week at some point. It'll probably be at the weekend. I've got quite a lot of work on this week. As I say, I'm a painter and decorator in Kelly, so if you want to use me, just...
if you need
a... but...
painter and decorator. Teach you survival skills while he's painting.
That's it. I try and keep my work off it, because I like my style of channel the new. I like that, but if...
it certainly sucked me in to get you here the day.
If anybody wants to learn anything bushcraft-wise, just mail me and I'll do a video for you and I'll show you how to do it. It's easy.
Cool.
Perfect,
happy with
man.
that,
and I appreciate you asking me up here. You know,
man,
made my day. I've had a great time.
I'm glad.
And it's been brilliant to meet the two of you. Honestly, you've made my day. It's been brilliant fun.
I've been mesmerised sitting listening to you.
I can fair talk for that.
Aye, no, it's been all good, man.
Aye.
All good. Hit that button, Claire.
Next time we might do it around a fire.
Aye, I hope,
Could do it round
because
a
I'm hoping
fire.
you come back and we can do that. Aye.
Definitely come back. No
Because,
problem.
as you can see, what's round about us. Eh?
Maybe when I come back, I'll stay for a couple of days.
Aye, something like
And
that.
put up the
That
the
bit you
hills.
were, I was telling you, by the Wayne would be perfect. It's a
Brilliant,
right
man.
wee cove. It's
Aye,
beautiful.
beautiful.
Man. Aye,
Excellent.
beautiful. And then you've got the whole forest behind you. Then
Superb,
Aye,
man.
aye.
I'll show you some tricks.
Aye, be amazing.
But thank you for having me on. Much appreciate it.
Right, his camera, Survivalists, quick
Peter Parker
Survivalist
Yuill.
thing. Aye,
Pistol
sell
Pete,
yourself.
1987.
That's
Survival and Bushcraft channel. Follow me on TikTok for any tips, hints, or what do you call that? Instructions or.
I know, hints and tips. Hints
Aye,
and tips to
hints
survive on
He's
the
a follower.
outdoors.
I'm getting
Yes.
nervous now, man.
And I'll just say, adios amigos. 2 videos. Peter Parker Yuill. Amazing. Thanks, Peter.
No bother, my man. Thank you.
Hey.
Ideal, man.